Friends to the Beaver Dam, and we have 2 kit reveals on top of the news that we just dropped. But now, before we get into these kit reveals, I do want to talk briefly about we are getting Lightspeed bundles back. Tomorrow we will be having a rerun of Star Killer, Grand Inquisitor, and Afra all coming back. So the 3 expensive bundles, they're all going to be $50. I'm guessing still. I'm guessing there isn't a price increase as far as I know. They're just returning. So it's going to be those 3. They're each $50 and they're all solid bundles. I'm probably going to end up picking up the Afra bundle just because I don't have the pirates that are contained in that, and the pirates are now actually something that's important in the game. So I don't know. Am I willing to spend that $50? I am undecided as of now. We shall see. It does give some Zetas, though, so that one feels a little bit more worth it to me. And the Inquisitors are a farm that no one wants to do, so I think a lot of people are going to be picking up the Inquisitorius. But let's jump into these kit reveals. I was mid-video of making a video about these kit reveals when I got interrupted by the huge news coming in. So we will not be talking about the huge news. If you want to talk about the huge news, that is the other video or the live stream that's happening right now. So go check that out. So kit reveal for Kicks. Now there is some terrible news about Kicks. There is some fantastic news about Maz Kanata that I think is absolutely hilarious. Regardless, these guys' kits are really interesting to me, and pirates are not something I'm excited for. I mean, pirates are not something I'm excited for. When this era was announced, this was not something on my bingo card. This was not something I was interested in. This feels very much forced by Disney, just because they don't want Acolyte backlash or anything, and they moved Acolyte away and said, hey, you got to do the pirates now and capitalize on this new thing that's actually working. We get the pirates. I don't really care for them, their kits actually look really cool. And, you know, SLKR was not the most wide received person in Star Wars lore in general, and yet a lot of us love him because his kit's amazing. And I feel like these pirates are going to be very similar in that sense. And Kix is the first one I'm interested in, like, actually just because he's a clone. Because we all just want more clones. You either give me more space wizards or cool guys in armor. That's the reason that I watched Star Wars as a kid, and that's the reason I will continue to do so. You know, Boba Fett was a fan favorite even before he showed up in a movie or anything. He just showed up in a parade and people were like, that armor's dope. I want to be like him. Give us cool guys in armor. Give us space wizards. We're happy. So, jumping in, Lightside, Healer, Clone Trooper, Pirate, Scoundrel, Order 66. This guy is going to be the Pirate Healer. He's going to be on the Maz Kanata team, which we'll talk about Maz Kanata in a bit. And he's going to be a Revive character and a Healing character that's obviously based off of Prophet. And we'll also have some Steel mechanics as well. So he's going to be super nice. Unfortunately, there's a piece of this that makes me want to cry. There was a desperate hope that I had, and we'll see if you guys catch on. Throw in the comment section what you think it is, and if you guess correctly, I'll give you a pat on the head and promise you that CG is bringing cool stuff. And I hope I'm telling the truth with that. So, jumping right in, we're just gonna jump right into his stuff. I feel like these pirates are kind of anti-heavy meta characters, anti-heavy conquest characters, almost. Because, like, you're going to see throughout this, as well as Maz Kanata, a lot of anti-Sith synergy, as well as a lot of anti-debuff synergy, and a lot of, like, stealing buffs, because that's their big thing. And so I think this is probably going to be a counter to both Sith, like Malgus, as well as probably Sith Eternal, because everything's a counter to Sith Eternal. But no, Quadme. I think this is actually going to be a good counter to Quadme, is this Maz Kanata team. And so I feel like they're kind of deconstructing some of the heavy hitters on the meta right now, because, like, Quadme's still a pain in the butt to get through. And, like, we kind of need our Bane in other places, and so I feel like this is kind of, for the top players, this is freeing up Bane for other places. And it does feel like a more offensive team. We'll see going forward, though, if they're smart enough to pull off their buffs and things like that. But jumping right in with this one, you can already see the anti-debuff stuff. Deal damage twice to a target enemy. Grant all pirate allies tenacity up For each critical hit scored, dispel all debuffs from a random debuffed pirate ally. If no allies were debuffed, then you instead heal a random ally and give protection to a random ally. During Kick's turn, he gains 1 stack of profit for the rest of the battle and retribution for 2 turns. So already we're seeing this anti-debuff stuff in here. Kicks dispels debuffs on himself, deal special damage to all enemies, inflict healing immunity for 2 turns, and steal critical hit immunity, heal over time, health up, health steal up, protection over time, and protection up. If these buffs were stolen, grant them to all pirates, reset their durations. For each enemy that didn't have any buffs stolen, Kicks gains 1 stack of profit for the rest of the battle. Max of 5. Now this is gonna be confusing for now. As soon as you see Maz, this will make sense. If target enemy is Sith, their cooldowns are increased by 1. Otherwise, call target other pirate ally to assist, dealing 50% more damage. I feel like these, I don't know, the meta's moving fast on that overall damage stuff. Next up, we got basically the ability that we get in Rote, where you have those clone troopers revive people, and it's annoying. Revive a random pirate ally with 50% health and protection. If the revived pirate ally is a tank, they taunt. If not, they stealth. All pirate ally gains health and protection. If there was no one revived, reduce cooldowns. And then, depending on your stacks of profit, you'll get additional effects, including more healing and protection, as well as, if there are no allied galactic legends, the weakest pirate ally gains damage immunity. And then you'll remove stacks for each of these 2 that proc. Now, it does say 10 or more stacks of profit. Spoiler alert, Maz Kanata has a piece of her kit that removes the capping for profit on her team. So that's where this is kind of going to make sense, is Maz Kanata will remove that cap. Jumping into the unique, has anyone guessed what the thing is that's making me cry in this kit yet? Kicks has 20 speed for each pirate ally below 100% health, and stealths for 1 turn where he falls below 100% health. So he's going to save himself, as well as he's going to get, faster and faster the more people that are hurt, so that way he can get in there and help out the team more. If Maz Kanata is the leader, all pirate allies will gain 20% bonus protection and tenacity up for 1 turn at the beginning of the encounter. If Pirate Hondo Onaka or Maz Kanata is the ally in the leader slot, the cap for profit is removed for Kicks. So there you go. Even if you were to throw him under Pirate King Hondo Onaka, he's still going to have that profit cap removed. Whenever a pirate ally is inflicted with healing immunity or shock, Kicks dispels all debuffs on himself, gains speed up for 1 turn, and 20% turn meter. He uses himself the next time he uses a special ability. Oh, great. I loved Rogan's kit being baked into here. Pirate allies below 100% health gain evasion up. I love dodges. Thanks, CG. And then they gain 20% offense. So essentially, weak allies are going to get good buffs. During Kick's turn, his health and protection recovery abilities gain an additional 4% healing once per turn, stacking a max of 20% for each stack of profit on him. Very interesting that they're increasing the healing based off of profit. I do like that. You can see, obviously, there are no allied galactic legends a couple times in this kit. He is meant to go with Maz Kanata. The team is meant to be Maz with the 3 pirates that are, episode 7 Force Awakens characters, and then whoever else you want to throw in there as the 5th. But they do mention they're curious what we'll come up with, because there might be things they don't find, which is pretty common for what they do. If Kicks has 3 stacks of profit the first time each pirate ally would be defeated, the defeated ally is revived with 30% health and protection, and Kicks loses 3 stacks of profit. If Kicks has 5+ stacks of profit when he revives a pirate ally, the revived ally gains 3 stacks of Endure for 2 turns. Endure can't be instantly defeated. The first time this character would be reduced to 1% health, dispel 1 stack of Endure, and recover 1% health, which can't be prevented. So essentially, if you can get a lot of profit on this guy, your characters become unkillable for like 3 attacks, which is really freaking cool. And then while in Territory Wars stuff, I'm not going to read all of this, but tons of cool stuff, and notice how none of it has anything to do with it being only with a non-galactic legend allies, because I think that they're looking at combining all the pirates into a super pirate team in Territory War. So we'll talk a bit about that when we get into Maz's kit. And of course, our wonderful Kicks art, beautiful. If you haven't figured out why I'm crying internally and why this is the worst news possible, he sounds awesome. I was really hoping for a 3v3 Omicron for 501st, and that we'd get, you know, Gas being good in 3v3, because Gas is pretty garbage in 3v3 no matter what team you give him, and he's not great on defense, he's not great on offense, he's just And so I was really hoping that he would, you know, he would moonlight as a 501st, but unfortunately, both during the day and moonlighting, he sounds like he's always a pirate. So here we are. Jumping into Maz Kanata. Maz Kanata, where there's so much text in this. Incredible amounts of text. They did give her the Unaligned Force user tag, but she has like no synergy with Unaligned Force users, so I don't think we'll see her there. She is going to be one of the two leaders. You're going to have her, and you're going to have Pirate King Hondo Onaka. So those are the two that you're going to be using. Now, I mentioned in the title of this video, yes, there is some really great news about this kit. Some incredible news, some interesting news, some integral news to the game. I don't know if this is a response to Arnold taking a break from the game for a week, because I think he's back now. His video mentioned that he was coming back over like the next week or so. But of course, he's going to be struggling to balance being a father, so we'll see what happens. But like, I think this is a direct response to them losing their key person who tests all of their kits. Maz gives profit to her enemies, setting up unique ways to steal this profit from them with her special too, and by critting enemies. But known issue, ability text in game will be different for her special 2 regarding the following, and says, hey, here's 2 things that are not working as intended on Maz's kit. We're putting her into the game, but we are aware these 2 problems are in the game currently and will be fixed as time goes on before she comes out and all of you guys can get your hands on her, which means they're testing their game. Isn't that wild, guys? CG is testing their game. I am so proud. I'm like a proud parent here. Like, oh my gosh. Isn't it amazing, guys? They're actually testing their game. It's so cool. Anyways, jumping in. Oh, sounds like Arnold just posted. Very nice. Very cool. Okay, so Steadfast Shot deals special damage to target enemy, inflict them with healing immunity, and pinned for 1 turn. We're getting the pinned mechanic back again. Target enemy Sith, healing immunity and pin can't be evaded or resisted. So we're going to see a ton of anti-Sith synergy baked into this kit. So once again, dispel all debuffs on pirate and smuggler allies. We are seeing a ton of anti-debuff, anti-major buff teams, anti-Sith. We're seeing, I don't know, it feels like an almost anti-huge synergy teams, I guess, if that makes sense. Just because, you know, when you have a ton of buffs going like the Quadme team, it takes that away. And so it sounds like it's actually going to be less good against less good teams, if that makes sense. So like the better, kind of like how Malgus and Quadme feed General Anakin Skywalker's offense, because they just get so many buffs that Gas just ramps up and is why he can absolutely destroy them. I feel like it's the same kind of idea where you're feeding off of what the enemy's doing, and so that when the enemy does more, you're going to get more out of this team, which is a really cool mechanic. If all allies are pirates and there are no Galactic Legends allies at the start of the battle, call all pirate allies to assist, dealing 40% less damage. They gain 50% turn meter and have their cooldowns reduced by 1. Gotta love a turn meter gain and a cooldown reduction. Special 2, Keeper of Secrets. Maz steals stealth, resets its duration, and grants it to all non-tank pirate allies. She steals 1 stack of profit that she granted to enemies from each enemy until the end of the encounter. So she will give out stacks of profit. Looks like she'll steal them as well. So it's going to be definitely interesting. If all allies are pirate and no Galactic Legends at the start of the battle, inflict all enemies with 3 stacks of exposed for 2 turns. The target enemy's cooldowns are increased by 1. Goodness freaking gracious. This attack can't be evaded or resisted. While in GAC, yay, GAC Omicrons, and there are no Galactic Legend allies. If all allies are pirates at the start of the battle, Maz steals an additional stack of profit that she granted to enemies from each enemy until the end of the encounter, and all enemies have their cooldowns increased by 1 instead. If the target enemy had lost all 5 stacks of profit given from Maz, deathmark them until the end of the encounter, which can't be copied or dispelled. Permanent death mark. Okay. The enemy already had death mark, set target enemy to 100 max health until the end of the encounter. Not 100%, 100. 100. Their target enemy was Galactic Legend, inflict them with Armor Shred instead. Okay, maximum cap for profit effects is removed for Maz. So we got it for Kix, we got it for Maz. It's gonna be a thing. I'm guessing Hondo's gonna be the same stuff. At the start of the battle, if all allies were pirates, Maz gains 100% counter chance, 75% crit chance until the end of the battle, and 20% max health and protection until she is defeated for the first time. There are no Galactic Legend pirates at the start of the battle. At the start of Maz's first turn, each encounter grant all non-pirate enemies 5 stacks of profit. And so those will be the ones she's stealing, and then as she steals them and brings them to herself, she'll inflict death mark on them once she gets rid of all of them, which basically means you have 5 turns, not 5 turns, unless you can reduce Maz's turn meter or cooldowns that much. But overall, Maz has to use her ability 5 times, and all of a sudden she has a mass death mark that goes on forever. So that's absolutely wild. While in GAC and there are no Galactic Legend allies, she gains mastery for each stack of profit. Whenever an enemy loses profit, and given from Maz, they also lose 5% offense and 5 speed. Whenever a pirate ally is inflicts any debuff on their turn, they deal true damage to all enemies. Once per turn, this damage can't defeat it. I hate true damage so much. True damage is everywhere now, and I hate it. It does so much. Like, it's so scary when you're fighting a Sokatana with a Finzori, and it's just the you get hit by the damage, and you're just like, oh. At the start of each encounter, if there are no Galactic Legend allies, all Pirate Smuggler allies are immune to Fear, anti-Malgus, and gain Foresight for 1 turn. Whenever Maz gains a stack of profit, all other Pirate allies gain 1 stack of profit until the end of the encounter. It's going to be wild how much profit's moving around on this team. Whenever a pirate ally with Retribution uses a basic ability, they ignore that enemy's protection, which we just read Kix. Kix gives Retribution to himself on his basic anyways. Whenever an enemy attacks out of turn, all pirate allies are going to gain 5% turn meter, so good luck with your turn meter train teams trying to take out this team on defense. There was no Galactic Legend enemies at the start of the battle. If there was an enemy Sith, pirate allies take reduced damage from % health damage effects, and whenever they target enemy Sith with an ability, they deal 300% more damage and ignore protection. At the start of each Sith enemy's turn, all pirate allies gain foresight. I get it. I get the whole, like, Hondo's gone up against Sith many times and all that kind of stuff, but this feels like bullying. This feels like the level of, like, screw that person specifically that we've seen in, like, GL's kits lately for anti-JMK. Like, it feels that level of, we just don't like you. Oh, gosh. While in Grand Arena and there are no Galactic Legend allies, Pirate allies gain 30% max health and max protection and 30 speed. Whenever a Pirate ally scores a critical hit, they gain 5% tenacity until the end of the counter. The Pirate ally is instantly defeated by a non-Galactic Legend enemy. That enemy is death marked for 1 turn, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. The Pirate ally uses an ability on their turn against an enemy with death mark. They instantly defeat them. It wasn't enough that death mark's there, but, like, even characters that are, you know, anti-health % damage effects just get insta-killed. Goodness gracious. The condition of no Galactic Legend enemies at the start of the battle is removed on this ability. I love that. Maz is going to be wild. They're testing their game, guys. That's crazy. And unfortunately, Kix does not moonlight as a 501st, which is unfortunate. But here we are. And just a reminder, Meathead did say, thank you, Apple E, for sending me the message. Starkiller, Afra, Grand Quizzer, they're coming tomorrow. Keep an eye out. But thank you guys so much. Let me know in the comment section what you think of the Pirate faction now. I'm honestly kind of excited for them, and especially with the new changes for, like, what I can relic characters. Like, I'd be willing to relic up this team because I'm going to get Maz Kanata. I have SM33. I'm probably going to use SM33 with Hondo eventually when I get it. But, like, I have Emphas Nest that I can throw in that 5th slot. If I buy the Afra bundle tomorrow, I have the Hondo I can throw in that slot. And then I just have, you know, I can just throw all of these at 5-star, you know, work them up with shipments or through just sharding them up once they're available and get them up to 5-star, get them up to Relic 3, and I instantly have another team for the for this, as well as this looks like a really fun kit. And if we can do like a Relic 3 5-star level of this team and it still beats like Malgus and still beats Quadme, I think that's a fairly good budget team for people to get up if they're in like the mid to late game to push for, because they get a raid team, they get a team that can beat some amazing teams without having to go for full 7-star and go all the way in investing. And then they also can feel good about their investment because these are characters who are required for a GL. So like no part of this feels bad for like mid-tier to late game players at all. But overall, I'm very excited for what's coming. I wasn't before. I was kind of like, now I am. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for giving a damn.